Gamers all over the world. I'm Etano Circus, and today on this episode of Welcome to LittleWarGame, we're not going to talk about the basics like we did last time. We're going to talk more about strategy. Ooh, strategy. It's a real-time strategy game, so most people want to know what their strategies can be. But before we can do that, I want to say this episode we're going to focus on one of the tenets of strategy, because I think for being a single word, it can easily be confused with what we mean for other games. Let's use some examples to explain what I mean here. As my version of strategy is that it's composed of parts dependent on the type of game or activity that you are playing. For example, let's say you're playing a normal strategy game like Go, Connect 4, Chess, or Stratego. When we look at those games, we're talking about a strategy, meaning an optimal or an optimum series of decisions. But in a real-time strategy game, we have more to deal with for our strategy than just the decisions that we're making along the way. In a real-time strategy game like LittleWarGame, let me log in while I continue to talk about this, we have three components. We have decision making, which is just as important as it is in a traditional strategy game, but we have two other focal points that really aren't addressed but really determine your success in a game like this. And that is, those two items are macro, which we'll get into the definition of shortly, and micro, in addition to your decision making. Now what this ultimately means is that in a real-time strategy game, you're limited by more than just the decisions you make. You're limited by how quickly you can do them. So that's why today's topic is going to be about macro. Now to pick a map. I just played on Lava Bridge recently. Kudos to Volt, it's an excellent map. So we're going to use that to demonstrate the point. While that map loads up, I'm going to explain some more. Macro can be divided, for those of you who aren't in the know or haven't played with, a real-time strategy game before. Ooh, look, Jib's changed it from computer to CPU. Huh. Macro composes of three things: shortcuts, spending efficiently, and expanding. Now, why is that? Well, shortcuts are integral to a real-time strategy game because we're not limited only by our decisions, we're limiting ourselves by how quickly we can put those decisions into the game. So shortcuts, which artificially expand how many actions we can perform in a given amount of time, are really important. Spending efficiently is important because a lot of times you will be tempted, if you have a lot of money, to throw down money for 3 or 4 or 5 workers or 5 soldiers. What you're doing when you spend like that is you're tying resources up into the future as opposed to tying them up in the present, which again slows you down. I'll start the game as we go to the third item, which is expanding. If you expand more, and we zoom out, and we win, kudos to allying.
Certainly so.
If you expand more, then you have more resources, and those resources allow you to make more decisions. Now, the first item that I brought up was shortcuts. Shortcuts can be divided into two things: hotkeys and control groups. Now, I'm going to show you what playing is like if you use no hotkeys whatsoever. If you go to this command card and you search and click for everything. So we clicked E to go to the worker. We go here. Let's say we want to make a forge and a house. So, okay, as quickly as possible. Q-E-U, Q-R-U. And then when they're done, we'll have to manually change them over and make sure that that continues on. And I'm just going to continue this for a little while. And you'll see that while I'm not playing at a really high level of speed, that a lack of control groups and shortcuts through hotkeys and control groups will actually make playing really difficult here in a second. See, hotkeys are important because they allow us to build units faster. So for example, if we look at this castle, if you just tap E, you'd be able to train this worker. Now it doesn't seem like a big deal. When there's nothing else going on, we can just build a worker, we're good to go. But I assure you it will become an issue very shortly. We'll right click this guy back, we'll wait until we get enough up for a barracks, and then I'll show you more of what I mean. Okay, we have to make another worker. We scroll up. Now, some things that we can do for control groups, as I said in the last game, I'm not going to demonstrate it right now, but just to get into what we're going to deal with a little later on. If you were to select a building, such as this castle or this forge, or select a unit, such as one of these workers. Hey, Bob. Let's say hi to Bob the worker. Hi, Bob. If we hold control and then press a number, then we can go over here, click at something, and then double press that number and we'll be transported back to Bob. Hey, Bob. Or we can just press it one time and we will select Bob without actually doing anything with him. Oh, wait, we have to make a barracks because we have 200. So Q, A, barracks. Oh, we forgot to make a worker. We have to go over here to the command card. E, make a worker. Now, control groups are useful, for example, for this. Let's say we want to look at this barracks over here. I'm not doing control groups right now, so we can see a difference between when we have control groups and we don't. So let's demonstrate this way. Let's take out 3 workers so I can show you.
As you wish, sire.
Here are our 3 workers, alright? I forget what the little ghost and Pac-Man are called, but we'll call them them. What was it? Blinky, Inky, Clyde, and someone else in the comments will remind me. Alright, so we have those 3 workers. Let's say we want 2 of them to go back to mine, and 1 of them to make a house. But we're over here looking at our opponent. Without control groups, click, click. Okay, here we go. 1 over here, 1 over here, you over here, Q, E, build a house.
Certainly so.
See how long? That doesn't feel like it took a long time now, but I guarantee you it does. Now look, we're going to make a soldier, and we're going to start our attack upgrades. Now look, notice, let's take one of these guys. This guy is not Bob. This is like Bob's brother. We'll name Bob's brother Sam. Come on, Sam. Sam's going to go scout our computer ally. Just to demonstrate how different things will be when you have control groups. Oh, look, we have to make a worker manually. We have to make our soldier manually. Now, what if there were a big battle? Oh, we can't go back here. There's a big battle right here at the bridge, at the titular bridge of Lava Bridge. Oh, we can't. Select Bob. Oh, he's getting attacked. Back him up. Go over here. Click. Make something. Click. Make something. Click. Make something. Guess what? If you were doing that, unless you're exceptionally fast, not only is Sam right here dead by the bridge, but Sam and all of his compadres are dead as well. Look, we didn't hotkey this soldier, so we have to manually send him over. Now we go back over here. We're done with a worker. We have to make a worker. We have to make another soldier. We have to make, we have to upgrade attack level 2. By the way, thanks to Jibs for version 1.73, we can now research multiple upgrades at one time. Now look how confusing that is. We got Bob over here. How can we make sure he's always doing something if we're making sure that Billy, the soldier over here, is doing something, and Billy Bob, his friend over here, has to get rallied, and we have to make sure that we make another soldier, then we have to make sure we get an upgrade, then we have to make sure that we're doing a worker. That's inefficient. It's just, look how fast I had to be moving in order to do all these things and make sure that we're good for all these things. He's getting attacked. We had to move him back. We have to send him in. We have to take this guy and send him in too. All right. Enough of that. Now I'm going to show you control groups, how different it actually is. Let's take those 3 workers again. The 3 of the 4 Pac-Men ghosts. All right. And we actually do need a house, so this works out this time. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to select all these guys as we're going to hold control and press 4 and click. And now we're going to go to our castle. We're going to hold control and press 1. Now we're going to go to our barracks and hold control and press 5. Now, watch how easy this is. I want to tell these guys over here to attack into the base. I'm going to make a worker, and I'm going to make a soldier. Everyone ready? And go.